I'm Karen, and in honor of Girl Scout cookie season, we are going to make Samoa cheesecake today. So for the first part of the cheesecake, what we have to do is make the crust, and I've already measured out the ingredients for that. And in this bowl is the melted butter. In this cup is the crushed up graham crackers. They're chocolate, and so we're going to dump those in there. And in this cup is 1/8 of a cup of sugar. And so we're going to go ahead and mix those together. This is our 7-inch springform pan. That's the size you're going to need. You may be able to get away with using an 8-inch in order to fit it inside your Instant Pot. To do the crust, you're going to need to spray your pan so that everything doesn't stick to it. And I use coconut oil spray. So spray just a little bit. Down below, I'll post a link to a 7-inch springform pan because you won't be able to find one in a local store most likely. I had to order it from Amazon. All right, once you've mixed all that together, you're going to start to press it into the bottom of the pan and up the sides about 1 inch. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it all in there and start pressing it. And when I get that finished, I'll show you the next step. Okay, our recipe instructions told us to take the pan with the crust and stick it into the freezer while we prepared the next part. So our next ingredients include 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, sugar and brown sugar, and we're supposed to mix that first. So I'm going to put all of those ingredients into the mixing bowl. And the brown sugar is packed brown sugar. And then my regular sugar. I use raw cane sugar, and that will work just as well as granulated. And then I'm going to take, and I use a KitchenAid. So I'm going to take it and put my bowl onto my mixer. And it says to mix it until it's creamy, so we're going to go ahead and start that. So what we're going to add now is 1/3 of a cup of sour cream. I have read where some people have substituted yogurt for the sour cream, so that's an option, like just plain yogurt. We have 2 eggs. One tablespoon of flour, and I'm just using unbleached flour, and then a teaspoon of vanilla. Once you've done that, it says to beat it on medium until all of the ingredients are combined and creamy. So we're going to turn the mixer back onto medium. On my KitchenAid, that's about 5. Okay, now that everything is mixed together, we're going to pour the mixture into the pan. I've taken it out of the freezer, and we're going to pour this on top. once everything is in the pan, then go ahead and make sure that you spread it evenly. And I'm also going to do that to make it nice and level so I have a flat surface. Sorry, gotta wipe my hands off. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take some foil and we're going to place this pan into the center of the piece of foil. And we're going to wrap the pan in the foil, and it needs to come up the sides, but do not go over the edge. So it goes all the way around your pan, but that's all. Now, the recipe says, and explains to you how to make a foil sling if you need one. However, I'm using a trivet that has handles. If you have a trivet that does not have handles, you're going to need to make a foil sling. Instead, I'm just going to set mine on top of my trivet, and I'm going to use my handles to lower mine into my pot, and I'll be able to use those to retrieve it from the pot when we're finished. In just a minute, I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, we're ready to put it into the pot. So first thing I'm going to do is add 2 cups of water to the bottom of my pot. And then I'm going to use my trivet to lower my pot, lower my cheesecake into the pot. Now I'm going to seal up my pot. Make sure my vent is closed, and I'm going to set it on manual, high pressure. So, where is it? I have to hit manual and pressure on this one to make it go too high, and I need 30 minutes for this. And then you just let it go, and when we finish, I'll show you what's next. Okay, our timer just went off, and our instructions tell us to quick release our pressure. So I'm gonna turn my pot away from my cabinets, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn my vent. Once the pressure is finished releasing, we're gonna remove the cheesecake from the pot, and actually it looks like it's gonna release quickly. We're gonna remove it from the pot and set it to cool for 1 hour on our countertop. And then we're gonna refrigerate it for 4 hours before we prepare the toppings. So you guys are not gonna sit here and watch it cool. So I'll be back when it's time for us to prepare the toppings. And now we are ready to prepare the toppings. So we need to put 1.5 cups of coconut onto a baking sheet. So I've got 1.5 cups, and I'm going to spread it out. And make sure you use a rimmed baking sheet so that it doesn't fall off the edges. And your oven should be preheated to 300. And so I'm going to take that and put it into the oven. And you're gonna bake that for about 20 minutes, but about every 5 minutes or so, you're gonna need to kind of, move your coconut around, turn it over so that it browns all the way around and so that nothing burns. Okay, my coconut is finishing up in the oven and it's almost done. So right now I'm gonna finish the next step, which is I'm going to melt the caramels that need to go on top. I used Kraft caramels and I put 12 of them unwrapped into this bowl. And then I'm going to use heavy whipping cream, 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to microwave it for about 1.5 to 2 minutes, stirring it like every 30 seconds or so. So I'm gonna stick it in here, do about 30 seconds, and then I'll stir it and then put it back in. So, okay, our caramel is melted, and now we're going to add our finished coconut to our caramel. And the pan is still hot, so I am going to use a spatula to do that. By the way, the directions said to kind of stir it every 5 minutes or so, but I found that it was browning a whole lot faster, so I stirred it about every 3 minutes. So you may want to kind of keep an eye on yours when you're doing it and stir it more frequently. All right, so all my coconut is in. While that's going, I'm also going to start melting my chocolate chips, and I'm going to stir this together. Because we're going to put it on the top of our cheesecake, and we're going to spread our caramel coconut on top, maybe with a spatula instead. Okay, our caramel coconut is all the way distributed on top, and our chocolate is melted. If you have icing bags, then you could use those. I don't, so I'm just going to put my chocolate down into a plastic bag and try and get it into the corner. I may be squeezing it down in there in a minute. Then you can close it up and use a pair of scissors to cut off the corner. And then you're going to zigzag across and then back the other way. Some lines. And I'm not really a cake decorator, so this is not my specialty. Should let my mom do this part. I probably should have cut that hole just a little bit smaller. And in just a minute, I'll show you the final product.